head coach of UFD Gym, Ivan Hippolyte. It was very nice to meet you for the first time. I think we are talking.
Yes, likewise. For me, it's an honor to have the short interview with you guys.
It is very nice to meet you here, and also. I was talking with Mr. Ivan Dijakovic about your fighters here in the KSW. You've got 3 fighters, and Saturday's you have KSW 43 card. So let's start from the beginning for the first fight of Anton Racic. Could you please tell us something about his shape and his preparation for the fight?
About the preparation of Anton. Anton came over from Croatia to do the camp in our gym. And he's well known. He's known in our gym because for other fights he also come. But this time he was determined. He had a good training camp. He was solid. He gave his more than 100% performance in the training. So we only can say that he's 100% prepared for the fight.
I know that there was some talks about his fight at KSW 42 at Łódź, and he was supposed to fight with Anzor Aziev. Then he knew that he's not going to fight in March, and this fight for him is going to be in April. Was it hard for you also to work with him to make this shape, to have this shape for this another month?
Yeah, it's always difficult for a fighter. When a fighter counts on the fight, it's in his head that it will be in March. And then he heard that it's postponed till April. So you also have to recharge the fighter and to give him the feeling that he has to focus for a month later. You know, so it's always not only for the fighter but also for the trainers difficult to bring a fighter back in the mood to prepare for a month later. But according to Anton, I don't have the idea that we have some difficulties with him. He just came, he just trained, he just settled down and says, okay, you know, it's in April, then we go for it. So we had a good training camp with Anton.
And about David Zawada, he's giving a real great fights in KSW. His fight with Maciej Jewtuszko was extraordinary, and we really loved to watch it. What's his, I don't know, maybe I will ask like this. Where do you see the most strengths of David Zawada in the cage?
You know what? You have 2 kind of fighters. Actually, you have 3 kind of fighters. You have what we called the dojo. That is where we train. You have the dojo fighters. That means he's good in the dojo, but not good in the cage or in the ring. Then you have the solid fighters, like Roberto Soldic. He's solid in the training camp, but also in the cage. And then you have the cage fighters. And David is a typical cage fighter. So where it looks, let me make clear about David. He always trains 100%. But when I see him training with Roberto or I see him training with Abus Magomedov, sometimes I have the feeling that he can do a lot more. But the strange thing is with David that when he enters the cage, it's a complete different kind of person. He's more than 100% focused, so I never have any doubts about David going to the cage and will give 50 or 60 or 70%. He will give 100%, and that is his biggest strength. That when you enter the cage with David, he's a complete different fighter than in the training.
And Roberto Soldic, our champ, a very young champ, and his fight with Borys Mańkowski was a big surprise for almost all the fans in Poland. First of all, Borys Mańkowski is a legend in Poland. Second of all, Roberto took this fight 10 days before it. What kind of fighter is he that he is ready to manage with such a big deal, like a fight for a belt, with such a big, very well-known fighter like Borys Mańkowski?
Roberto Soldic, you know, the only thing I can say about Roberto, I work now with him for almost a year, and I can see that Roberto is a pure form of a fighter. He comes from the bottom. He's determined. He knows exactly what he wants, and that makes him a fear fighter. Because if some fighter knows exactly what he wants, there's nothing, no distractions on his path to say, "Hey, change your mind." And that is, I think, the biggest part of Roberto. To manage him or to face him as an opponent is difficult, because the guy's going there, and of course, we're all human. Every fighter is a human, so also a fighter can lose a fight. But it's hard to fight Roberto because he's 100% convinced in his head that I'm coming to in the cage, I'm going to destroy you, and I'm coming to be victorious, and that is hard. And today, I was on a press conference and I'm seeing his opponent.
Yes, Dricus the first.
Yes, Dreyfus. I see him and I'm listening to all the comments. And of course, he's also a fighter with much experience. But it's difficult to sit there and talk, as like Roberto says, when the cage closed, then it's my time. And that's everything says with that.
Yeah. I need to ask you one thing, because a lot of people say that Roberto Soldic doesn't laugh too much. He doesn't smile too much. How is it in the private when you are at the gym? What kind of man is he?
Believe me, that's a frog. That's a big frog, because he always laughs in the gym. He always make jokes. I have to say, "Hey, Roberto, come on, be serious." So it's totally other person in the training. Of course he's serious in the training, but I like that as a trainer. There's a moment to laugh, but there's a moment to be serious, and he can manage that. Exactly when he have to be serious and exactly when he have jokes. And when he's with family, he's a friend. But when you enter the cage, he's your enemy. And what can I say about that? That's the way it should be.
Yes. So he's a Robocop, but he also can smile.
Definitely he can smile.
Okay, and the last question, because I promise you this will be a short interview, sorry. What is a secret of your gym? How do you make those champs?
It's not a secret. The strength of UFD is that, first of all, it all starts with the management. Big credits for Ivan and his brother Tommy Djakovic. Those guys are professionals. That all starts with. Then second of all, those guys, they want to put everything on the table to bring the best people in the house to create the fighters and to support the fighters and to train the fighters. Guys like Ileosada Nogueira, like me, like Sukru. So those guys put everything on the table to create the fighters. So it's all about the fighters have to take those knowledge and try to work with us to team to bring them the best of it. And we're not there yet, because now I work almost a year with the guys, and believe me, within 2 or 3 years, UFD will not only dominate over here, but worldwide we will let guys know of us. So
you already, as I know, you already have a title of Gym of the Year in German medias. So I wish you to your UFD gym to develop, and also we really like to see more of your fighters here in Poland, because they are fighting really great.
Nice. Well, we thank and this kind of things, bringing the support over here by the social media, the Polish audience, the supporters, that give us a feeling that we're feeling home here. And most of the fighters from UFD, they like to fight in Poland because they give the credits. It's not everywhere. It's not something that you can rely on. Hey, I'm fighting abroad and I will have the credit, because I've been all over the world with fighters, but the Polish and KSW give the fighter a feeling that they're respected and they feel home. And that's why the fighters of UFD like to fight here in Poland. And that's why they give their 100% utmost.
Thank you very much for this talk.
Thank you for the interview, and good luck with your social media thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Take care.